Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining my co host Mary and I for another Spiritual Learning Thursday. Every Thursday, we go over a different topic. After we play the video on the topic, we'll take any questions that anyone has and we'll try to answer them the best that we can. If you have any ideas on what you would like to learn about in the next upcoming videos, please leave a comment. We will be with you shortly. If you would be so kind as to take this time to give a like and share out the video, it would be greatly appreciated. Sit back, enjoy the show. Thank you so much again for coming.
Hi! Mary disappeared, but hello, everyone. She must have kicked herself off. I hope you all guys are all good. I'm sure Mary will be back quick, fast, and in a hurry. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Christy. Hi, Scott. Welcome in. This time I remembered to take off the mute before I started talking. Today's topic is going to be next week. I know it's a hassle waiting, right? When you want to know. Today's topic is all about what happens when family and friends don't agree with your spirituality or don't understand your spiritual journey. So that's what we're going to do today. So I shared out. So here's Mary. There you are.
I'm back. Sorry.
Kick yourself out, huh?
Well, I went to share you out, and how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Pressing buttons. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do today. The reason why I was telling them right before you came back up what the topic was. Now I'm going to tell them why.
Yeah.
So I picked this topic because recently I realized that my family thinks I'm a basket case. I guess they've been holding it all these years, or for some reason I think it's gotten worse. Since I've had my spiritual awakening, my sister has thought I've had a brain tumor. But yes, that would be good for Scott to get some kind of answer other than the crazy one that the other doctor gave. So yeah, so my lovely daughter decided to call adult social services. I've never heard of this kind of thing before, but it's like and basically she told them I was crazy, that I see things that aren't there, that I hear things that aren't there, that I talk to myself. I don't know, all this stuff. He asked me so many questions. He wasn't there that long, about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, whatever. But yeah, so now I realize, I go, shit. At first I thought it was my sister, so I called her and she's like, no, I think, I think you have a brain tumor. But or problems with your ears. If I had a spirit guide talking to me, I would go get my ears checked, and I'm like, is what? Like, so when was this? Monday. And Monday night, I made this video for this week. So she did help us with our spiritual Thursday, I guess. But the whole thing was, I said, I can't be the only one going through this, maybe to this extreme. Um, Maybe, but who knows? This could happen to you guys. There's a reason I don't talk to my family, right? So yeah, um, right. So like, I'm on my own spiritual journey, of course. Everybody's on their own. Some people are more open than others, and yeah. So
that just made me think of something.
yeah.
I wonder how many of us really have trouble with our family because of this. That's
Oh, I'm sure many, because it's not only spirituality, but if you have religious differences, like I've had many times where I've said something, they're like, oh, no, that's not, God is the only one. And I'm like, well,
yeah.
believe whatever you want, but I don't. Like, and they're like, oh, you're going to be punished. I'm like, God gave us free will, so we can believe whatever we want. He's not going to punish you if you think there's 2 gods, 25 gods, or no God at all. He's not going to punish you.
The only way he's going to punish you if you put one of them before him.
Yeah. Things I do not tolerate, right? So, yeah, so especially after talking to my sister, I have not called my friend. Then she has not called me. Because I didn't want to go off on her. Like, I wanted to be calm, because she does have my grandchild there. So, that's how my
and I understand why you
this
didn't.
family reacts, but I'm in my own world, right? So now I'm like, well, usually I'm just myself. So if a spirit talks to me and I'm in the middle of talking to my sister, because it's my family, I usually go, hey, I know you're talking to me, but you gotta wait. Or something. I normally say something, even with my best friend, like sometimes, like I never used to with her, but sometimes the noise is so loud, you just have to go, hey, listen, not now, but so I have to remember to stop doing that. I don't like, ignoring anybody who needs help, and that's why these spirits talk to me, help, because that's my journey, is to help them. She even went so far as to not only say I had a brain tumor, not that I check my ears. Evie, I drank your coffee, by the way. Not only should I get my ears checked, my head checked, and obviously I'm insane. But she said, like, yeah. I mean, because really, who ever heard her friend's a medium, or I don't know what the hell her friend is. Her friend calls herself a medium. She supposedly gives messages to people from their deceased loved ones, but she won't cross anybody over, and or any of that, because she said it takes much energy. So to me, that's like rude. So after she had said that, I'm like, well, no, I'm not going to take any messages from her, because I don't believe that my family members or anybody else will go talk to a woman who's not willing to help them if they needed help. That's my feeling.
So this is your daughter's best friend.
No, my sister's.
Oh, your sister. Okay.
Yeah, my sister's best friend.
Okay.
My sister believes that everybody else could do this stuff, but not me. I'm crazy and I have a brain tumor. Everybody else could do it, because I didn't do it, I guess, from when I was born. Then I can't do it. I don't understand their.
You probably could,
thinking,
Christina. but you probably had a trauma before you can even remember that it happened, and it scared you and you blocked it out. You
Oh,
can
I'm
do that.
sure. I'm sure, you know, you know, but even if it wasn't, and I just learned now, I don't understand why I'm crazy. But um, whatever the case may be, so she got mad because I told her like she's not gonna listen to any message from Teeny because I think she's a crackpot. I don't think she's a crackpot. I said I just think she's rude. Like, and my sister's like, nobody asks her for help because there's no such thing as these mass crossovers. You do this is your craziness. I said, so you don't believe that there's crossovers? Like now I'm just like, my God, like all this time my family thinks I'm really like like crazy. Like, and I was just shocked that, and then I'm like, well, listen, you can believe whatever you want, that's your religion or your belief or whatever. I don't believe in religion. Then she starts going on and on about religion, and I said, I don't care. She goes, well, you never asked me because I don't care. I wouldn't persecute you like you're persecuting me. I didn't ask because of your own thing. If you wanted to tell me something, you would tell me I'm doing. I shouldn't have to ask anyway. Like, if you wanted to tell me something, if Mary wants to tell me something, she's going to call me and freaking tell me. She's not going to wait till I ask her. By the way, Mary, do you believe in, God or not? Like, she's not going to wait till I call her and ask her. She's going to say, yeah, by the way, Christina, I believe in God. And I'm going to say, great. But, it's like,
I believe in God, but I don't believe in the Christianity part of it, where
right,
he's the only one, and that
don't believe in the teachings
this
that
and
are
this and this. I believe there's gods. I believe there's goddesses under him. I believe there's the top God, which is God himself, and I think that he's the main one. But do I think there's others underneath him? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I just do.
right. We I don't believe in the Bible teaching. The Bible was written by a man, right? Actually, many men that changed it many, many times. So to me, if you change something, that means,
You're bleeping out.
oh, I'm sorry.
I think you're better now.
Okay, it might have been the train. It might have sounded like I was bleeping out because the train was going by. So yeah, like they changed it so many times that I'm like, how could that be possible? Plus they had to translate it from an ancient language, so things always get lost in translation, right? So I just don't believe in the book part. I believe in researching and finding out my own way and what sounds right to me, right? That's what most people do. So
I'm sorry, everybody. I forgot to say hi to everybody. Hi, Abby. Hi, Scott. Hi, Kelly.
it's a team
Anybody else
effort.
here?
Yeah.
And
Got
whoever else is lurking.
Scott, Kelly, Chris,
Christy. Hi, Christy.
yeah.
I think I got everybody that I said.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think I can see anyway.
Yes.
I am feeling a little better. I'm hoping my blood level's not going back down because I kind of have the symptoms of it, but we'll see. Like I'm covered up from head to toe right now. 2 blankets and
Oh
a sheet.
no. Yeah, and it's not exactly cold outside.
No, it's not. But we got the air conditioning going, but still, and it kicks on and off. But even when it's off, I still have the blankets on me. So it's not just that. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, back to our subject at hand. Not, I didn't mean to get off of that.
Oh
I
no,
just
that's
want to say
okay.
hi to everybody. I didn't want to think I was being rude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she asked, did you have a fever, Mary? Kelly.
No, I don't have no fever, but Kelly, but I just I got the chills and like I'm cold. It's not the chills. It's like I get cold and I start shivering, and that's one thing. I'm tired. I've been sleeping a lot the last three days. Um, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes, Scott, they do work with us, and it is a team effort. But I believe that there is a top God, and then there's the ones underneath. So I mean, that's my belief. I don't try to push anything off on
Yeah. Well,
anybody
you know
else.
what? There's actually a religion which, well, that's why I say when these people say things like crazy, you have a brain tumor or whatever, they don't understand that it's part of your belief, your religion, because what we believe in, believe it or not, is a religion. It's in Greece, our religion, where we believe in God and deities and all these divine beings, is called Hellenica. And in the Hellenica, they believe in um, like the four winds, all that stuff. Native Americans believed in all that stuff. So you can't. Hello, Sherry sis. Hope you're well.
What's it called?
Hellenica.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
it's
wouldn't hear you
like
say it because
they believe in like, well, what we call our deities, they call Greek myths,
yeah,
mythology. So
yeah,
it's like, so according to, like, if you would look it up in the dictionary, it's like people who believe in mythology. No, it's people
right.
who believe in the deities. Believe that there's God and deities and there's, you know, um things under the God, like there's more than the main God, because there's all the angels and the deities and elemental stuff. So it's called Hellenica, and it's an actual, they call it a religion, but it's like a actual philosophy, I guess, of belief, like and people follow it. Lots of people around the world follow this Hellenica. And so I don't find it odd, or I don't think I have a brain tumor because I'm following something that has a name and more people than just us little group here follow,
Now I could see
So
him being worried if you was following some group that believes in killing all of them at the same time. That they're
yeah,
going
like
into
a
the
cult.
rapture at
Yes,
the
like
same time and all that. You know, I'd be worried about that instead of being worried about. Uh, I'd be more worried about you being involved in that than I would what you are now. I
yeah.
mean, it's not like we're doing something that is harmful to anybody, and
No,
we're
no.
not pushing
I
on anybody.
Right.
You know
It's
each
scarier, I think,
each their
of
own.
the yeah, like the crazy, crazy religious people are, I think, scarier than I am. But it's not that they
Yeah,
think I'm
you
gonna
got that
hurt
right.
anybody or hurt myself or
Especially the ones that come to the door.
yeah, they think I don't know. Like I said, they think I have a brain tumor and that I should get checked. So yeah. So
You got a
so I
brain
I
tumor, then I
figured, though,
got
I've been doing
one. All of us
YouTube for
got one.
6 years. If I have a brain tumor, probably I will be dead already. So I'm thinking it's okay.
Right.
But
I'd
I
been
don't know. And if I
I'd
do
have been
have a
gone a long
brain
time
tumor,
ago
I
since most
don't think it
others
has
have.
anything to do with my spirituality
Uh,
and what I believe. I don't think a brain tumor can make you believe things that are not true. I don't know. Or I don't think the brain tumor can make me believe things like put ideas in my head. So I'm not worried about it. I would say brain tumor or not, I'd I still would believe in deities, Um, so yeah. So I don't know if they're afraid because they think I'm a religious freak now, or like I said, they think I have a brain tumor. They think I have ear problems. I don't hear spirits. It's tinnitus. I don't know what the hell they think it is. They think I'm nuts.
I
Thank
got some
God
serious, I
brain
got some
tumors.
serious ear problems. I can't hear. I can't hear shit.
Yeah.
I'm losing
So
my hearing.
so that's it. So we're gonna play the video, I guess. Um, on how to handle it when your family thinks you're nuts or have brain tumors, and what what you have to do to kind of navigate through all this stuff. So let's do the video and then we could do more chat. Okay, so I'll see if I can play this for you. We have to do it old school again, guys, because you know until Mary
I
goes
get it
back
set up till I get it set up where we can do it the other way.
the room, we're gonna have to do it this way. So wait, let me put this on big. Um, no, I need the layout. Layout. Okay. Okay. There we go. Are we gonna be able to see this? I don't know. We're gonna have to go the other way, maybe. The sun. In the movie, John Travolta had a brain tumor, but he's still right in. There you go. He was still right in his premonitions. There you go. Maybe that's why the brain tumor made it easier for him. Let's see if that's better. Oh. Well, I guess as long as you can hear it. But
Maybe that's where she got the brain tumor part from. Maybe she thinks that because John Travolta had it that in the movie that's what's wrong with you.
well, yeah, but like Evie said, John
Hi,
Travolta was
Sherry.
still right. So maybe I'm still right too. Here we go. I can't mute myself, so sorry for the noise, but let's see if I can get off the
I
notification.
agree, Sherry. Closed-minded people.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. All right, there you can kind of see it. Hello, and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're going to find out about how to handle it when your family and friends don't agree with your spirituality. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalytics, once claimed that spiritual beliefs and paranormal experiences were mere illusions. By lacking any sort of scientific explanation, Freud believed that the messages from the dead or the apparitions themselves were nothing more than a hiccup of the brain. On the other hand, William James, author of The Varieties of Religious Experiences, a study in human nature, believed that spirituality should be included as a healthy component of the psychological functionings, i.e., believing in mysterious occurrences led to a more fulfilling and well-rounded life. For many people around the world, their spirituality and faith directly coincide with their beliefs in the paranormal. Mediums deliver messages from the dead to the living. Tarot readers connect with their innate spirituality to conduct readings for those who seek them, and others who practice voodoo or hoodoo wrangle the spirits and they own them in order to work in perfect balance. For them, and hordes of other people who classify themselves as being spiritual, there remains a deep, integrated perspective that the dead walk among us and are able to communicate just as effectively as the living do. But what do you do after a spiritual awakening has led you a path different from what your family and friends believe? What happens when people don't understand your spiritual journey?
Dealing with oppositional family members, friends, and acquaintances when you embark on your spiritual journey is no easy task. It can bring up all sorts of feelings: shame, guilt, inadequacy, self doubt, anger, resentment, and even confusion. Or even worse, what happens if your family actively opposes, mocks, or belittles your spirituality? Of course, this situation is exasperating if you're dealing with very close family members. Say a husband, wife, parent, siblings, even your children, who is opposed to your spirituality or tries to make you feel ashamed about it. Here are some things you might hear from relatives or friends who don't understand your spirituality, or in more general terms, don't understand what a spiritual journey actually is. I don't know why you're so different now. You think you're better than everyone else? The real world doesn't work that way. You need to come back to reality. You sound like you're in a cult. So what's the point of doing this meditation and other spiritual stuff anyway? You sound crazy. You're not the person I used to know. I don't know who you are. When are you going to come out of this? Is this a temporary trend or fad? Why are you spending your time or even money on this stuff? You're getting brainwashed. Those are some of the things you might hear. And of course, hearing negative comments like these trigger all sorts of uncomfortable thoughts and feelings in you. You want to defend yourself. You want to protect yourself. You want to make them see how this is the right path for you. You might even want to make them see how it might be the right path for them too. And it might be the case that some of these people are open to your explanations about why and how this path is helping you, how it's transforming your life, how you feel more alive and at peace than ever. But other people will not want to hear any of that. They just won't get it, or they'll be extremely resistant. So what do you do then? Well, here's some suggestions on how you can cope. First of all, you must remember that everyone, yes, even that annoying or frustrating relative, is doing the best that they can from where they are. We're all at different levels of consciousness. If you've experienced a spiritual awakening and seen beyond the veil, you're definitely at a different level of consciousness than someone who only believes in material reality. This does not mean some people are better than others. It just means they were all at a different evolutionary stage. We all move towards greater consciousness at different rates. Trying to rush or force someone to understand something beyond their level of evolution is pointless and can even be harmful for their own development. Another crucial fact to keep in mind: when you start making positive changes in your life, some people will react negatively. This is because you're showing them how they haven't healed or changed themselves yet. This will make them feel defensive and trigger all sorts of feelings in them, including resistance to anything you have to say. Secondly, you must also remember that anything that's triggered within you is your own responsibility. Yes, sometimes other people say or do things that activate uncomfortable emotions, thoughts within you. But how you deal with those emotions and thoughts is your own responsibility, not the responsibility of the other person. In fact, you must thank everyone on your path who triggers negative feelings in you, because they're showing you the areas that still need work or healing. Perhaps your feelings of shame or inadequacy are triggered when a relative tries mocking your spiritual practices or using a belittling tone with you. Instead of hating them and projecting your feelings onto them, such as making them out to be the ones that are inadequate or shameful, try to explore how you can heal these feelings within yourself. For instance, where is this feeling of shame and inadequacy really coming from? How can you release them so that you may be less triggered in the future in the same way? Thirdly, although you must thank everybody who triggers you for showing you the rough spots in you that need to be healed or smoothed over, there eventually comes a time where you must create healthy, strong boundaries with specific people. You don't need to be a victim or put up with anyone's verbal abuse or belittling comments. At the end of the day, you get to choose who you will allow into your life, how long you'll spend time with them, and what the parameters you need to set in that relationship. You're not obligated to spend time with anyone, whether they're related to you or not. Fourthly, release toxic people and relationships. This aligns right with the third. There comes a point where you must release toxic people and relationships. This can be especially hard when these people are your own family members. Our culture often tells us family comes first, that blood is thicker than water, that families stick together no matter what. These are just limiting beliefs. You can choose to have a different idea about what family means and how family is supposed to work. Toxic people are everywhere, at work, at school, on vacation, and even in our families. Don't feel shame or guilt if you choose to go no contact or to avoid a specific relative. As long as you're doing this to protect your sanity and well-being and not doing it out of spite, resentment, or to punish them, you're free to create a soul family with people who support, uplift, and encourage you to pursue your spiritual calling and to heal yourself. If necessary, work through any guilt that comes up when you consider releasing toxic family members from your life. That guilt is just a sign that you've been socially conditioned in some way to put your biological family ahead of yourself. Fifthly, if you choose to continue spending time with family members who don't really get your spirituality or who are inclined to mock it or put it down, make sure you adopt the skill of strategic sharing. This means determining the safe topics and subjects you'll discuss and share with that person ahead of time. Maybe all you can talk about with them is the weather, a recent vacation, or how the kids are doing. Try to keep your interactions with this person as peaceful and as stress-free as possible. If you know that a certain topic makes them react by shaming you or putting you down, make sure you stay clear of those subjects. Another good strategy is to keep the conversations focused on them. After all, people love talking about themselves. Hopefully, by adapting some of these suggestions, you'll be able to better deal with family members and friends who don't share or understand your spirituality or your spiritual journey. Ultimately, remember that you have the freedom and the right to do what is best for you and to pursue the path that most feels aligned with your soul. Don't allow anyone to get in the way of that. You must fiercely protect your free will and your ability to continue evolving spiritually. There is always going to be someone who is going to disagree with us on our politics or religion, someone who has a radically different ethical standards, or who has many opinionated and unwelcome beliefs about how we spend our money, the life choices that we make, or how we parent our kids. Some of those people may be close relatives whose relationships are important to us, which make these potentially impassioned discussions all the more weighty. We have all been there, but it's easy for those conversations to go downhill fast. Some of us have even temporarily or permanently severed ties with those family members over these issues. In most cases, practicing good communication skills and making an effort to foster respect and honesty is all it takes to survive these troubling moments at the family dinner table. Most important is to find a support system. Look for people who share the same beliefs as you, who are about at the same level of consciousness as you are, that went through a spiritual awakening as you did, to help you. And if you ever need any extra support, please comment on this video and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you so much for joining us on another Spiritual Learning Thursday. Please consider subscribing if you're not subscribed and check out our spiritual learning playlist for more content like this. We'll see you next week.
All right, so there you go. Hello, Black Stars. Thank you for coming in. Very nice to meet you.
Let me put Mary back on the screen here. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know. Where'd we go here? Okay.
Who is it? I
There.
don't see him.
I'm sorry.
Who is it you said come in?
Black Source.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
I said,
hello, whoever you are.
hello, whoever you are. So that hopefully some of those suggestions helped. Like I've heard a lot of some of those things. I'm spiritually great, thank you. Oh, fabulous. Yeah, we were just talking about when your family doesn't exactly understand your spiritual path or your spiritual journey. Because it's true, like I've heard a lot of it. Like I even was like, to my aunt the other day, I think I said to her, I'm like, oh yeah, well, God and the creator. See, I think they're separate people, separate. Now, whether God told the creator, hey, go do this and that, I don't know. I just know there's two, from different visions I've had or whatever. I know there's two for me. That's my thing. Okay. So it's how I translated the vision I saw, right? My aunt was like, no, that God does everything. And I'm like, so he doesn't have any helpers? Like God, I don't know that that's right. I said, first of all. Second of all, that's your belief. I'm not telling you not to believe that. And then what ends up happening is she's like, oh, God's going to be mad at you. I'm like, whatever. If he gets that mad, I'm not going there. Like, I say that to bother her. But, it's like, um, that's my belief based on what my what I saw, what I heard, what I do for my spiritual journey. My aunt has a different one. Everybody, aren't angels helpers? Oh, but angels obviously don't do anything. God does everything. I don't know. There's only God. That's it. And I'm like, how many universes there are out there? How could you say there's just like one God because it's your God because this is your planet? You don't know that in the next universe they don't have a different God. They don't have a creator. I don't even know if I came from this universe 5 lifetimes ago. I don't know. Like, but they don't believe in all this stuff. So to them, all of that is craziness. So, creating the universe is a full-time team effort. Right, Scott? You can't just, make it up. And actually, who helped the most with creating the earth was the elementals, right? Who are the spirits, the divine beings who came before the angels. So that helped God create the earth, right? So, you know, we don't know. We don't know until we get there. But what we do know is that everybody believes something different. It's okay to believe whatever you need to believe for you because that's
I'll be
your
the first one
journey.
not to judge you. I'm not going
Hey,
to judge
Eli.
anybody about what they believe. Whether they
Yeah,
believe in God, whether they don't believe in God, whether they're atheist, Buddhist, to whatever they are. To each their own. I mean, that's just how I feel about it.
yes.
I mean, we can all believe the same things. Um,
No,
some of us do
the
believe the
world
same
would be
things, and
boring.
some have variations of it, and some don't. So it's whatever they believe. I don't care.
Right. And I would never tell like somebody, oh, but that's not right.
I would
Um,
never tell them they was crazy or stupid or
right.
had a
Or
brain
they had a
tumor or
brain
nothing like
tumor.
that.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Or
yeah.
if they need to see a doctor because they done lost it or whatever. I
Right.
may tell them they lost it for some other reason, but it won't be because of religion.
Right. It won't be because of their spiritual beliefs. Right. We're all on a different mission. Right. So, um, like me doing
mass crossover is 4 times a week. To them, that's crazy. To me, that's my job, you know, here to help because she's like, oh, you should help, I don't know, live people. And I said, there's plenty of people that help live people. There's plenty of doctors, there's plenty of lawyers, there's
Right.
plenty of, nurses. There's plenty of those kinds of people on earth. How many plenty of people are there like me? Not very many that will spend 4 nights a week crossing over 500 spirits each time. Find somebody else who does it 4 times a week. Find somebody, and then have them come to me because I wanna thank them for helping me. um, you know, um,
If I ever get strong enough, I'm going to help you.
yeah, but it's and it's constant. I rarely, if I have to skip a day because I don't feel well or something, I do it the next day. I try not to skip. It's 4 times a week, If I have to change the day because of something, I tell them in advance, or usually
Oh, I
Sarah.
could do it now, but it would take it. I'd be down sleeping for days.
knows.
You
You
know.
do
So,
help live people. Aren't we alive? Well, Evie, I'm glad you think I help you. Thank you so much. I try. I try to help anybody who needs it. Actually, why I started these Spiritual Thursdays, now we've been doing it almost 7 months, guys, the Spiritual Thursdays. It's how we are open to be. That's right. And there's people that believe in aliens and stuff like that. There's people who believe in the flat earth still. There's so many different beliefs, and you can't tell them they're wrong. You know, if you don't agree with someone and you don't particularly want to hang out with that person anymore because you're like, oh my God, this person's nuts because they believe in all this crazy stuff, that's your business. Don't tell them they're crazy, though. um, but I think everybody could get along no matter what beliefs they have. Um, I don't have any problem with anybody, whatever they believe, flat earth, round, triangle, I don't care. you know. Um, yeah, but yeah. So besides Scott, who we know Scott goes through a lot with his in-laws, does anyone else have people tell them certain things? Does anybody want to share a story with us about, someone who put down their spiritual journey? Um, do you have a story to share with us, Mary? Has there been anyone in your life who you said no, I have to let go of this person because I can't.
I
Do you have a delay, Mary?
no, I said hi, Eli. What'd you
I know,
ask
but
me?
I asked you a question, so I was waiting for.
Oh, what would you ask me? Sorry.
I said, do you have a story to tell us about anyone who put down your spirituality, or you had a toxic person you had to, boot from your life because um spiritual reasons?
Well, I really haven't had to boot anybody from my life, but I have told him, this is how I believe. You can either like me or not like me. You don't have to come around me. Apparently, they don't like it because I don't see nobody. So, so I guess they don't come around because of that. But I don't know if it's because of that or what. But no, my family, my family is a religious
Okay.
family, whether it be the way I believe or whether it be the regular Christianity belief. For the most part, it's the regular Christianity belief they believe. So, I mean, like, and I'm fine with that. You know, I'm not down in that, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. But if you want to add to it, that's all I'm doing is adding to the Christianity that they believe in.
Right.
Because I do believe in God. I also believe there's other gods and goddesses. And
Right.
I do believe that in the Native American way, the four winds and the four, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and
The
all
deities.
that. And I believe that, you know, it's a part of Christianity. I believe that if you want to technically go down through it, I mean, we're just deeper in it than some.
Right.
And that's how I look at it. But they don't. A lot of them don't believe that way. But
Right.
we just don't talk about it's what it is. We get together. We don't talk religion because we know it's a subject that is sore to everybody. So nobody talks it. So nobody gets into it over it. So they're
Right.
not going to say I'm crazy or anything like that because I know for a fact that my aunts and uncles, before they passed, my mom, even her, before she passed, but she was like me. But anyway, I do know that they seen the ones that had passed before them, their brothers and sisters, standing at the foot of their bed waiting for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they can see them, then how can they not believe that? I mean, even my aunt that's still living, she's 96, I believe, gonna be 97 in September. Um, and she still has her right mind and everything. She told me, she said, I've seen them before. She said, it's been a while. She said, it's when I was sick. She was sick with leukemia, and we like to lost her, but it went into remission and has never come back.
Hmm.
But anyway, um, she seen them then, and she said, I've seen your mother since your mother's passed. She said, how can I not believe that they're there waiting for us, or just, that they're close, or that they can be around us and be with us at times. If she said people would think I'm crazy because I said I've seen them.
Right.
So she
Hi,
she
Diane.
she, she doesn't believe like the gods and the goddesses and stuff like that. And of course, I haven't asked her really about that, but she's never brought it up. But
Right.
as far as seeing spirits, she has.
Yeah.
And but she's a very religious person. But
Right.
there's several that is religious in my family,
Right. Well,
religiously,
I tell you,
people,
well,
and the
and you're
faith
right,
too.
Diane.
So I
Because my
mean,
my friend is okay with my spirituality, even though she doesn't want to hear about it because she doesn't want to think about it because she has OCDs and she gets nervous about like spirits walking around. So that's the only reason why I don't talk about it around her. Um, but and I really never had a fight with her. She understands my spirituality. Once in a while, she'll ask me a question. Really, um, not a lot. She asked me a question when like her husband heard a disembodied voice and flipped the hell out. And stuff like, is it bad? And I'm like, no, it was your son's spirit guide. And she was like, oh, okay, your son's sick. We got a spirit guide, and the spirit guide talked loud. And the husband obviously is sensitive, so he heard it and flipped out, and like, um, so yeah. But so she'll ask me questions, like once in a while, but um, it's more like we only have ever fought about politics because she likes that damn Donald Trump, and I think that's crazy. She's like, oh, I hate all these pedophiles, and even though they say it's a sickness, I think they should be put away. And I'm like, but Donald Trump has on file, he has that mental disability that they call pedophilia, or whatever the heck they call it, which I don't think is a mental disability. I think some freaking crazy guy made that up to be something mental so that people could get away with it. That's what I think. But I don't know because I'm not a doctor. But another thing. But she wants, and she votes for him, and I go, are you crazy? You just said. I go, would you leave your son with him? She's like, excuse me? I said, so I showed her, look, he has this mental thing on file, the pedophilia. I said, would you leave your son with him? Because if you wouldn't leave your son in a room alone with him for 5 minutes, sure shouldn't leave the country in his hands for no amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so we had a little fight about that. So we agreed to not talk about politics anymore. She'd rather talk about my spirituality than politics, because I let her have it on that one. I was like, and they
Yeah,
don't.
Kelly, I agree with you about the fever and the pain meds, but the pain meds depends on what type of pain meds you're on. Pain meds I take, they don't make me see anything. I ain't any different. It just help with the pain and nothing. I don't see things because of them or hallucinate or anything other than that. I mean, if anything, it stops me from seeing it all.
Yeah, well,
Anything that stops, I mean, I can literally just stop doing it all. But
yeah, I mean, I don't see spirits, my eyes, just my third eye. I don't see them with my eyes. So, like when when the guy said to me, in case you didn't know, the reason why we're doing this one is because my lovely daughter sent adult services to my house Monday to say that I see spirits, I hear them talk. I don't know what she said. I'm crazy. Anyway, so when he asked me, "Do you see things that I don't see?" and I'm like, "No." He's like, "Are you sure?" Like, I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't see anything with my eyes." And he's like, "Oh." I'm like, "Except what's there. I don't know." Like,
well, I mean,
I'm sure I don't see anything different than you.
I don't see with my eye all the time either. Now some
Hi,
I
Deborah.
do, but I don't always see them that way.
Right.
The most of how I see them is by mind's eye.
Right.
From my third eye. I mean, so
that's it in my mind. So my daughter actually sees them with her eyes, which is why I'm surprised. Like, I should call social service back on her. If she didn't have my grandson, I would. Because I was literally sitting in my house one day, and my son was helping my sister with something, and she goes, "Hi, Jonathan. I see your big head. You can't even say hello." I go, "Who the hell are you talking to?" She goes, "Jonathan." I said, "Jonathan's not here." She goes, "Well, who do you have in the house? A man?" I'm like, "There's nobody here." I walked around the whole house with her. I said, "There's nobody here." I sit back down. Well, she sees them again, right? And she's like, "He's a guy with brown hair and he has a white T-shirt," and she describes him. And I'm like, "Oh, that's the guy who came from the supermarket, wants to cross over." Well, I had seen him with my mind's eye. She could see him walking around my kitchen. Okay. Obviously pacing, waiting for, the crossover. So anyway, she's like, "Well, you should go do that. Can't have people walking around your house, right?"
Who
I'm like,
who was it that seen him?
my daughter.
Oh well, yeah.
So I'm like,
and then she calls, and
then she calls me crazy, and my sister says I have a brain tumor, but they're sitting there seeing them with their eyes. I don't see them, none of that shit. And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they think I'm crazy and they're not, because they can see them with their eyes and I don't, but I just have the faith to know that they're there. That's why. I don't know. Who knows? That could be.
Could be, but I mean, I can't believe that she done you like she done you, and she's, yeah. You talking about
and she sees them, right? But I'm crazy because I interact with them too. she doesn't. I mean, she saw him thinking it was my son, so that's why she talked to him. Otherwise, she was like, "Oh my God, get them out of your house!" Like, they don't interact with them, regardless whether I guess they could see him or not. I do interact with the spirits
Put one
because
back.
that's you
Put it in
know
the freezer.
that's part of what I do because I'm a gatekeeper. I cross them over, right?
Right.
So I have to interact with them. That's not her path, so she doesn't interact with them. Right, James. Everybody has different gifts. We just played a video. Everybody's on a different level of consciousness, right? So everybody's on their own journey, and we're on our journey at different times. So we were just saying how to deal with when your family members and friends just don't understand what's going on, and they call, they say you have a brain tumor, they call you crazy, they do all sorts of things.
Hi,
Meanwhile,
Deborah.
they think I'm crazy, but like I said, I mean, she saw the spirit in my house. I didn't know what the
Hi,
heck she was
James.
talking about until she described them, and then I'm like, oh, that's the guy from the supermarket because I seen him click in my third eye. But other than that, I didn't see him walking around my kitchen. She did. But I'm the crazy one because I actually interact with them. I guess. Tons of people are having spiritual awakenings right now. Yeah, I wish the whole world would have just a little bit of it so they'd leave us alone, Kelly. But anyway. Yeah, Deborah, that's what we were talking about. My my sister thinks I have a brain tumor
How
for
are
the
you
last
doing, Deborah?
6 years now. So, um, and that I don't hear my spirit guides. I have tinnitus in my ears, all this stuff. So I don't have any intuition because of the brain tumor, I guess. And I don't hear anything in my ears. They're not spirits talking.
James, did she take you to have be checked out?
I
Did she take you to be checked out to see what was wrong with you? Because I didn't tell anybody, and that's why I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody till I was grown. I was 43 years old before I told a soul that I could see and hear.
Yeah, yeah, and I told my mother a few things when I was younger. Told me, shut up, they're gonna take you to the funny farm. Don't talk about it.
I agree, Kelly.
And so I didn't talk about it when I was younger. And I would make up reasons why I wouldn't go someplace or do something. And even though my mother would drag me most of the time, even though I had that intuition, like, don't go, something bad's gonna happen. So, and my mother and I just couldn't understand each other. I moved out of my house when I was 16. Um, I started working. I stopped school. I was like almost done with high school. Like literally, like I had maybe 6 months to go. I had to like go do all this stuff to, and then I took some college courses or whatever, but I had to get out of my house. Nobody ever from when I was younger ever understood anything I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. My family never understood. Nobody was ever on my side. I was the non-favorite child, so it is what it is. No, she tried to have me admitted. She was convinced the church that we went to that I was possessed. Oh my God.
Have you brought it back out now, James?
Oh, you saw him, Diane? Good for you. It's somebody you know? Because I think the spirit said it was someone you knew. I left home at age 16 too. See, there you go, James. Yeah, because so what happened was, yeah, I left when I was 16, and because like even like I said, no, I wanted to be a songwriter. I couldn't do that. I said I was going to be an actress. I wanted to go to acting class. They said no, they don't hire fat actresses. Because at the time I was going through that, stage where your hormones are changing because you're becoming a woman, so you get a little heavy when you first that start. And so they don't hire fat actresses. So anything I ever wanted to do, never. So I know the spirituality
So,
to be one of them, which is
okay,
why
so,
I got into paranormal actually 6 years ago, because my son was 10 and maybe 11, and he started seeing things. He didn't tell me off the bat, but what he did was one day he mentioned it in school to his para that he saw this
taking
bird,
shows onto a pharmacy, but
and that the bird talks to him.
hmm,
And of course, so the school called me and said, you have to take him. He hears voices. He can't have imaginary friends. He's old for that. He's obviously psychotic, basically, is what they told me, and he has to be committed. And I told them, fuck you. And they're like, well, he can't come back to school. So you admit him to the hospital. I go, well, then he's not coming back to school. I go, call social services, whatever. And I hung up on them. I went, I got the kid. And I said, well, you got to talk to me because now you're in trouble, right? So I sent him to his father's house, his social services. I was in Long Island. His father was in Queens. And I'm like, take him to the child psychiatrist, not the hospital. Take him to a child psychiatrist, see what the child psychiatrist says. He took him to the child psychiatrist here. And the child psychiatrist said, nah, he's mad because his parents broke up. I don't see anything else wrong with him. I said, good, give me a clear form so I could give it to the school, And so the school calls me back because I sent it to them. And they're like, no, this is not, we want him for a full psych evaluation. I'm like, but he need one for the psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist said he was fine. Oh, you want a better psychiatrist? I'm not taking him to the hospital. So I asked the kid, like, really, what's wrong? And he's like, well, I see these animals, or a fox and a bird. And actually, spirit animal is a silver fox. So he does have spirit animals. He was seeing spirit animals. But anyway, so when he said it to me, I'm seeing these animals. I didn't say, oh, frick. And then I wasn't spiritual at all. I was just too like working, taking care of 2 kids. I was a single mother. I wasn't really. I'm sorry, can you guys hear me now? Am I cutting out still? I wasn't really doing spirituality, like all this spiritual stuff. Okay. So what I did was I said to him, I think you're seeing spirits. And at 11, he turns around to me and he says, there's no such thing as ghosts. The kiddos probably, yeah. He turns around and says to me, there's no such thing as ghosts. And I'm like, no, come on, we're going to go. I'm going to show you that there's ghosts. I didn't know if I believed it, but I just wanted him to be okay to say, like, because I didn't believe he was crazy at all, right? I really believed he was seeing maybe spirits of dead animals, even though I couldn't see them. I didn't know. I was sure they existed because I looked it up, right? So what I did was I gave him a camera, and I took my camera, and we went to the most haunted place in Long Island. And we both filmed. And I got home and I started going through the footage. And I showed him that he caught a little spirit with antlers walking. When he saw it, he said, oh my God, that's the kind of stuff I see. Like, and I said, okay, so it's spirits. He goes, you mean so they're really there? I'm like, you caught it on film. I never had a problem again. Never. Never with the school, never with him with any of that. Now, like, once he figured it out though, he was like, oh, okay, it's fine, and he stopped kind of talking to them, so he kind of closed himself off, I guess, just to get through school and all this, which was fine. Now he wants to start talking to them again, but yeah, never had a problem, because that's, you know, regardless of what that was seeing or not, now he knew that's, well, oh yeah, fine, okay, and done. I didn't take him to the psychiatrist. Well, I took him because the school wouldn't let him back in. But his father must have told him, don't you fucking mention anything about that. So what did he tell him? Oh, my parents don't live together anymore, and my mom and dad are not together. I don't know what he told them, but that's what the psychiatrist said anyway. So like, but yeah, I refuse to believe. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with the kid. Like, all of a sudden he's going to hear things. Mental illness doesn't even run in my family. It might, because obviously I'm crazy, according to my family, but we're highly functional crazy people. So yeah, James, so the school took him back. He was fine now. But I would never, even then, like I said, and I wasn't spiritual at the time. My mother and father had passed away. I was having problems with God in general at that time. I thought there can be a God, to have my mother suffer like that, all this stuff. So I was in the middle of, like, literally becoming an atheist when all that happened. And after I saw that little spirit walking, my son caught that on his camera. I didn't. My son also caught on the camera that day rocks being thrown at us, white mist coming out of flowers, like all sorts of shit he caught on his camera. And I think they did that on purpose, like, no, you know, to help him get what he was going through. Really, like, downhill. Who was right at that point? Understand, you know. So anyway, so that's how that happened. I was so, and that's how I got into all this. I was so intrigued by this little spirit with these antlers, turned around and smiled at the camera, that I was like, they all just walk around? Like, I'm like, wait, so there is, like, life after death? So what's going on? And then I full blown went into paranormal. I realized I can hold an item and tell if it had energy. So I brought home all these haunted items, and then I wanted to help them. Most of them were children that attached themselves to things, dolls, mirrors, all sorts of stuff. So I was like, I have to help them. And the spirits taught me how to do crossovers, because I was so intent on helping these kids that were stuck in these items, that I was like, no, I have to. And I can't, I'm not going to be one of those people that have baby in dolls in this museum like that other crazy guy does. I said, I'm not doing that. They have to go where they're supposed to go. So the spirit taught me how to cross them, or how to do it, what made sense to me. And then I started going through spiritual awakening. Then I started having visions, all from starting it off saying, no, I have to help these babies. And somebody help me help the baby. And then that's how I went to my awakening. But it all started because he was seeing animal spirits. So there you go. He was seeing his animal totem. So, that's how that happened. So yeah. So if your parents, a lot of people, like, oh, like my friend who, like, all of a sudden now, because her husband heard the disembodied voice and I said it was the kid's spirit guide, she was okay. But I would think right away she would take him to a psychiatrist, because mental stuff kind of runs in her family. So I had told her, don't take the kid. If the kid tells you he hears something, don't take the kid to the psychiatrist. Let me talk to him first. And she goes, if my husband didn't hear that disembodied voice, the first thing I would think, if the kid told me was sick, to bring him to a psychiatrist.
If you lose me, it's because I got a storm coming, fixing to hit.
Oh, okay. Mine didn't show up until I was 27. Wow. No, you didn't
I told her if
didn't
Nikki goes
hear him.
offline,
Maybe.
it's because the storm's hitting, fixing to hit.
Yeah, it's fixing the hit. I think I'm sure. Well, maybe the animal totems, because the animals totems can come at different times. But your spirit guide was with you, since, somebody was with you since you were born. Just, whether you choose to hear him or not. Now, he was very open to it, I guess, and he would talk to them. And I'm like, well, what kind of things do they talk to you about? And they go, well, they asked what we're having for dinner. And I'm like, okay. So even what he was hearing wasn't anything to be like, oh my God, like now if they were telling him to kill people.
I think it's where the invisible friends come in at when you're a kid.
I think so too. Mine is a bear and he spoke to me. There you go. See that? Yeah. Just like if you're open to it, I didn't know about me having spirit animals because I was really dealing with, like I said, the children at the time. And so like two of the kids stayed instead of crossing over, and they were helping me do the crossover and finding people to cross over and all this stuff, and kind of talking to the people like, this is when she's going to do a crossover or whatever, because I didn't know how to communicate with them at that time because I was just starting. I would need the spirit box for everything. Now I don't, now I can, like, they'll talk to me in my third eyes, mind, and I'll understand. Or if I'm not sure what they're saying, because sometimes even though they're spirits, if some of them don't know how to talk spirit talk, so they'll have either A, still a heavy accent from wherever they come from, or B, they'll be talking a different language, and it just sounds like white noise in my head, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I'm like, is the spirit speaking English? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, so I don't understand him. You're going to have to translate one of the other guides because I don't understand what he's saying. I had a guy who just spoke Greek, and then so he stayed at my aunt's house because my aunt speaks Greek, and a few of her spirits there spoke Greek, because she had a grandfather there. The grandfather speaks Greek, so he stayed over there. And then he came and he's like, crossover now. So he was ready, but he was fairly new spirit. But he was probably sick of my family, so he's like, no. So that's what happened there. But yeah, that's how my spiritual journey started. It was because my son was hearing things, and I said no, and seeing things, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna bring him to. I don't think he's crazy. I'm definitely not committing him. Yeah. So my son, I remember when my son was going back to school, he asked me, what should I tell him? They asked. Like, shit, what does he tell him? And just say your mother does paranormal, and you, for YouTube. Tell him your mother does paranormal for YouTube, and that,
Does
you were
anybody have any questions?
you were having dreams about mother doing this crazy stuff. Tell them you understand. Tell them your mother's a paranormal investigator, and that's all they need to know. Whatever, And he's like, okay. But I guess they never asked, and if they did, maybe that's what I told them. Oh, my mother and I do paranormal, call it a day. I don't know. Literally, because paranormal is so big now, they really can't put you in the funny farm for believing in spirits, right? Because everybody does. Quite a journey, yeah. Yeah, so now that's why everybody's on YouTube now and whatever. For so many years, everybody had to shut up, right? Your mother would tell you, you're gonna put you in the funny farm, don't talk about it and stuff. Now they have shows on the Travel Channel about paranormal, so it's quite like the norm now. So with so many people believing in it, I don't understand why science still says that this is, can't be proven. Because, I want to know, like, I think it's more accepted now. Oh, yeah, it's definitely more accepted. Like I said, there's shows all about it, right? But I don't know how, they don't say God doesn't exist. How many people have seen God? They don't say God is make believe, but they say spirits and UFOs and anything else we see. No. How could you say no? It's not proven when millions of people see it, but you won't say God's make believe because So I don't see a difference really. I really don't. I think it's all part of your beliefs in your spirituality. Spirituality can be called religion because you believe in something higher, whether it be aliens, God, the deities, why? I don't know. But, even when you try to look up what you are, like nobody has, I could say kind of I'm a spirit medium, but there's no real kind of like titles for us because supposedly we don't exist. People like us don't exist. It's not
Oh
proven.
yeah, Deborah, I think it is. It is accepted more now, but you still have them that think that we're all crazy and that that we're sinning and we're doing God wrong and that we're not being right and that there's something wrong with our head or
Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows. I mean, but there is ones that believe all that. I mean, to this day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I feel to each their own, but which I felt that way all along. But it's just
I
how they
I
are,
feel
I
each
mean,
his own too. However, I really think that like it's against the law to be like to say racial slurs like in most places, right? So if you have a fight with someone because you're a racist, right? And you're yelling at them because they're a certain
right?
color, go to jail. It's but if someone yells at me for and has a fight with me because of my spirituality, it's not against the law, but it should be because it's the same thing. You're you're basically, you know, biased towards me because I believe something you don't. It's like the same thing as me not being the same color as you, right? So if you have the the racial bias, but you'll also have this, it's just a bias. And whether it be racial or or something else, it's you know you can't go around saying these things to people. Like, you can't say I don't like you because you believe this, because you look like this, because it's wrong. So all these people that believe in God and that God's the only one, right? And then they turn around and it's so rude to someone else who doesn't. What does that show you? I don't know. It's so weird to me. In my job in the aged care home, we are not allowed to discriminate on personal beliefs, race, sexuality. Right. Not allowed to discriminate because it's against the law in most places to discriminate, right? People can't discriminate when they hire you. People can't. It's discrimination to say, hey, you can't believe in something that I don't believe in, or you're crazy for believing something that I don't.
Well, you're not here either. I mean, and in your job and stuff. You're not allowed to do that here either when you
Yeah.
work in healthcare and stuff. You have to be neutral. They tell you not even to discuss it with your clients, with
Yeah.
whoever you work for. But some you just know that it's okay to talk to them about it, but
Oh yeah,
there's
Kelly.
others though that will argue up and down about stuff and all that, and you kind of have to stay away from the subject, especially anything to do with religion or in politics. I swear they run neck and neck.
They see their mothers and their dead husbands. Yes, Evie, you're right. Because my grandmother, she first went into the nursing home. She was pretty sick. Um, Now she's doing way better. But when she first went into the nursing home, she was 94. Now she's 96. So she's been there 2 years. Hey, darling, how are you? I hope you and your daughter's well, sweetheart. Um, so she she said to my aunt, "Why do the twins not talk to me?" And my aunt looked at her funny. She goes, "What twins?" She goes, "The twin girls that are standing there." My aunt couldn't see them, but because my aunt believes that there's, spirit guide, whatever. She talks to her grandfather who passed away, right? She thinks that's her spirit guide. So she goes, "Thank you, Shelly, for coming in." So when my grandmother said to her, "Why don't the twins talk to me?" She didn't say to her, "They're not there, you're crazy." She said to her, um, you know, "They don't have anything to say right." She told my grandmother, "They don't have anything to say right now. When they want to say something, they're going to talk to you." She goes, "But it's weird because they just sit and look at me. What do they want?" And then my aunt goes, "No, they work here. They're looking at you to make sure you're okay, but they don't have to say nothing to you. They don't speak English." That's what my aunt said. But so she was seeing these twins, which my aunt said to me, "Oh, she's gonna die. It's obviously death. Those are the reapers. The twin reapers are standing there. They're gonna take her any day." But she got better. But she was seeing these twins with black hair standing there looking at her, not saying a word. She could see them, my grandmother, when she was sick. Now she hasn't said anything. So we had a lot of driving today, but home safe now. Great. So yeah, so it's very common, I think, when people are sick and older, you know, that they'll start seeing things. Because she said she's seen her cat came by for a visit. Beauty, cat's been dead a little while now. She said she saw her mother one time. Um, so did she have a fever? No, she had got out. She had just when she went into the nursing home, she had broke her hip and she had surgery for her broken hip. But while she was in the hospital with surgery for her broken hip, she had got COVID. So once she healed from the COVID and they thought she was healed enough from the broken hip, they sent her to the nursing home. So when she got to the nursing home, she didn't have anything, no pain meds, nothing. She didn't have pain meds. She was literally at that point supposedly okay. Um, but she couldn't walk. And it hurt when she would get up. But they didn't have her on anything besides I think like her regular heart medication that she was always on. Yeah, like her, not heart. Yeah, it's heart medicine. So, but other than that, she doesn't take anything because she's fine. She's always had since she was born. She has a hole in her heart. So yeah, so 96 anyway. She has heart. That's the only medicine she takes. She's been see something like that, you don't know, um, why she was seeing it. When a 103-year-old tells you her mom and dad visited that day, I say, "Oh, that is lovely. Next time they visit, say hello from me." When you give a positive answer, the smiles on their face is beautiful. That's right. Yeah, because, um, so yes, we try not to, you know, I don't blame her. I wouldn't take all that stuff either. Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, they didn't give her the pain medicine, of course, because she was 94, so they were worried. They didn't even know if she would come out of the surgery. And then she was healing from the broken hip and thought, okay, walk again or whatever. And then she fell again at the nursing home, trying to get out of bed to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and she broke her hip in the same spot. They couldn't operate again. So now for 2 years, she's been in the nursing home in a wheelchair. She can't come home because she has stairs and all that, and nobody can pick her up and all that stuff. But now she hasn't said anything. But in the beginning, like the first few months she was there, 6 months, she would say weird things like, "Did you say hello to the woman sleeping in my bed? How's she doing?" I'm like, "The woman sleeping in your bed? Like what?" I'm like, "What bed?" She goes, "The one at home." I'm like, "In your house?" She's like, "Yeah. The woman who's sleeping in my bed now." I'm like, "She's fine." Know who the hell she? There was nobody sleeping in her bed at that point because she wasn't. Now we rented her apartment now recently, the last 4 months, but it's been vacant. Besides my aunt going up there and cleaning and checking on it because my aunt is in the basement. There was nobody in her apartment. He was in my bedroom door. I walked into my room in the afternoon and there was nothing in the way. I stumbled and I got mad. I swear I was pushed. Well, he was trying to tell you he was there. Hey, hello, I've been here since 8/6. You're not paying no never mind. I can't take pain meds unless it's over the counter because Cassie, I have to be alert. Right, of course. So, yeah, so we always just, "Oh, that's nice, Grandma." And sometimes we have no idea what she's talking about. Or she asks about, like, "How's this one?" And that one's been dead for I don't know how many years. And we're like, "Oh, I haven't seen her." Like, I don't know. I haven't seen her. That's our answer when she asks how the dead people are. I don't know. We haven't seen him. I saw him in my door smiling at me and holding my dog. I didn't stare at him, just a quick look. So I didn't recognize him. Oh, you didn't recognize him. Well, he had your dog, so. Oh, enjoy the grandkids and give them kisses. But, you know. Yeah, but she'll do that sometimes. But the last, like, 6 months, her mind's been sharp as a tool, and now she's 96. So, I don't know. Now, some people say when they get sharp as a tool like that, it's right before they go. And I'm like, why? They're like, I don't know. It's always like the clarity, like the clear before the storm or something. I don't know. But she's not even sick, so God bless her.
Hey, I'm getting tired. I'm gonna jump off of here.
Yes.
It's good talking to everybody, seeing everybody on here, and
Thank
being
you
here.
for joining us, Mary.
What who's she asking about? Who? Oh, the guy that come to her house.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, Diane. I'd have to. I haven't been doing much of anything, so I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
I like I said, when I did that reading for you, I just know that they said you know him. How you know him, I don't know. Well, they said you know them. It's someone you know. I didn't even know it was a he. That was the only message they had gave me. But James said it was good meeting you, Mary.
Good meeting you too. I'll be back on when I get to feeling better and stuff. I have my own channel and stuff, and I'll be back going live again. Just a matter of time. If they can get
Hey,
my blood
Kim.
leveled out, I think we'll be all right.
Yes,
So, but
Mary
I'm tired.
usually makes it for our Thursdays, so definitely she'll be here next Thursday. Anybody
Yeah.
have any ideas on next Thursday? Let me know. Jerry likes a cup of tea in the morning.
All right. Anybody got any ideas for next Thursday? If you do, put it in the
In the chat.
chat
Well,
there.
you'll be in the chat, right, Mary?
She'll see it and I'll see it. I'm gonna be in the chat. I just ain't gonna be on talking.
Okay.
That way, in case I do go to sleep, she knows what happened, and I don't
Hmm.
leave y'all up. You hear me snoring and all that. All right. Much love to
Oh,
y'all.
love you too, Mary. Thank you, honey.
Love you too. You're welcome.
Oh, you were listening on the laptop. Okay. Oh, okay. Sherry went on. Okay, Sherry was here earlier. I didn't know she was going on. Um, let's see. For Diane. Okay, for Diane. It's somebody she knows. An old acquaintance of yours, Diane. Can we kind of hear the name? Jeffrey? I think Jeffrey is his name, Diane. Jeffrey, an old acquaintance. Maybe that will help. Sure, honey. Ask your question. Um, okay, so I'm here. I see ya. That's Mary's channel too. Once Mary's feeling a little better, she'll probably be taking back her Sundays, her Sunday night lives. So if you want to click on her and give her a subscribe, so when she starts doing her Sunday lives again, you will be notified. She does the paranormal side on her channel. I do a little of everything on my channel. She does just paranormal, really. I try to do spiritual, cooking, crafting, paranormal, fun, spooky stories, all sorts of stuff. Jeff is my nephew. Have to think about if there is another one. Yes, Jeffrey. Um, your nephew is still alive. Right, I figured that. Do spirits welcome other spirits when they come into the space? Do they introduce themselves and to others? Okay, so obviously, if there's spirits in the space, like I know my spirits talk to everybody. I do crossovers, right? So when spirits come into the backyard and ask to be crossed over, they talk to them. They make sure they're cool. The only reason a spirit is not going to be cool with another one is if they're bad, right? So and that's with even us. If somebody walks in that has some bad energy, you'd be like, go the hell away. you know? So if it's like some kind of bad energy, they send them on their merry way. But otherwise, passing in the street and everything, they talk to each other. The kids here, whenever a new kid comes and they're playing, they all play together. It's just like when you're alive, totally. Maybe someone from primary school. They did say a while ago, an acquaintance. So it wasn't even like you were really good friends. An acquaintance from a while ago, Jeffrey. You know? So no, it's definitely someone who's passed. And so it might be someone back all the way back to school. You never know. But yeah. But you can ask him, Diane. He's there to help you with something. Oh, I didn't get the feeling they were related, but could be if you didn't know them. if you didn't know your great-grandfather, like I didn't know my great-grandfather, either one of them. I actually didn't even know the grandfather on my father's side because they died before I was born, right? So darn planes, trains, automobiles. Always, yeah, I did too, you know. Oh, I don't know, Mary. Could be. My ancestors are immigrants from Poland. Oh, oh yeah, but I would talk to him. Because obviously, just holding your doggy, he's good. They warned you he was coming. Don't kick him out. That he's going to be there to teach you something. He's not going to be there super long, just until whatever it is that you need to learn from each other. So, it's already, there must be something going on that they keep circling the same spots here, these helicopters. Usually it's around 4:30 to 5:30. They'll have a lot of helicopters here because I'm right next to the Grand Central and they're doing, it's the news copters and they're doing the traffic. But now it's almost 8 o'clock, so there must be something going on. Oh, Evie, thank you so much for coming. Yeah, enjoy work, Evie. We'll see you soon. I didn't talk to him. You know, when they just pop in and they startle me, I get upset. Well, that's true. Oh, you got a great grandfather? Could very well be. Could very well be. It got so humid all of a sudden. Either that or something else is going on. Because I was totally fine, and then all of a sudden it's like, phew. And I should have made some iced coffee, but I only made hot coffee, and I finished it all already. Hot flash. Could be a hot flash. Because, you know, I started all that, and I started it early. In 2001. Right about when the pandemic was starting, because I remember when I got all these symptoms and I actually looked pregnant. And I knew I wasn't pregnant because I hadn't done any of that for about a year. So I was like, okay, obviously I'm not pregnant. So you couldn't go to the doctor at that time. You had to call them because pandemic, right? So you had to call the doctor, explain the symptoms, and then they would tell you if you had to come in or whatever. And so I called the doctor and I told him I look like I'm 3 months pregnant. It happened within a week. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm like 3 times my size and all this. And he's like, how old are you? And this and that. And I'm like, my boyfriend can't even sleep next to me because I get so freaking hot. I want to kill him. He's like, oh, yeah, you're going through perimenopause. And I'm like, oh, great. And then it had stopped for a year. I wasn't getting my friend, and I'm like, finally, done. And then all of a sudden, starting this January, it came back regular cycle. And now for the last few months, it stopped again. So I'm like, what is going on? It's here, it's gone, it's here, it's gone. So I don't know if what it could possibly be, that it's happening all over again, which I'm going to hate because I hated going through perimenopause the first time. Now going through it a second time, I'm not going to like it. Not going to like it that one damn bit. So ain't that business great? Yeah, right. So yeah, like this is like, although they did say, I remember when I did talk to him, He said it could last up to 10 years. So basically, if that's the case, all of this whole procedure takes 10 years. If I started in 2021, I still have a lot of time left to go before it's finally over. So, yeah, 10 years for the whole process, up to 10. I'm like, "What?" Sorry, James. James is the only guy and we're talking about this. So sorry, James. You were so quiet we forgot you were here. But yeah, um so yeah, that's enough of that. Anyway. So, no, you're fine. Yeah, it's always usually us ladies gossiping, right? I was feeling bad for you. Yeah. No, it was terrible. Nobody even recognized me. Within a month, I changed so much when it first started that nobody even recognized me, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, you're pregnant," and I'm like, "No, damn you." It's horrible when someone says you're pregnant and, "Oh, I'm sorry, Scott," and you're not, and you know. And so they were like, "Well, what happened?" Like, 1 month I was a size 4 and the next month I was a size 12. It was literally a 1 month difference. Now we're leveling out a little, but it's terrible. So I really don't want to go through that again. Definitely not. So yeah. So does anybody else have any questions? Hey, Thor, I haven't seen you in forever. I hope you're well. I hope you're well, sweetheart. Does anybody have any questions? And does about anything spiritual, paranormal? If I can answer it, I will try. Or of course, does anybody have any ideas for next week? What you guys would like to know about for Spiritual Thursday? Let me know. I'm listening to both Christina's stream and Sherry's. Yes, I forgot Sherry was live. Oh, she must be doing the fairy garden. Yeah, so is she doing the fairies? All good, thanks. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Um, we just were talking and we showed a video about just when your family and friends don't understand your spiritual journey. So I will put that video, just the video part up in a few minutes so then you guys can see it. I got diagnosed with premature ovarian failure. Oh my God. In your mid-20s? Oh, you poor thing. Oh, and you don't take. Oh. Yeah. Sometimes this being a woman sucks, right? I will have to think about a topic. Yes. It's a good thing I can't have kids because I'm too poor. That's a true story. Actually, if I didn't have kids, I'd be rich, probably. All the money. And these kids, they're so rude, right? Because, like, my son said to me, I'm like, you should get a job, help your mother out, right? Instead of being on your games all day long and doing nothing and letting your mind rot. And he was like, well, if I get a job, I'm going to move out. I'm not going to help you with the rent. I'm like, you bastard. I've been paying rent for you to have a roof over your head for 19 fucking years. And you're going to tell me the first thing you're going to do is move out and not help your mother at all? Like, I'm like, did I raise this kid? Or like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, Mary just jumped down because she got very tired, but we've been here an hour 44 minutes, so yeah. But yeah, if you guys can think of it, I was on low dose estrogen until a year ago. Oh, Yeah, that must be hell. I don't want to take any of that. And everybody says you should go to the doctor and make sure, since you never really went, you just talk to them. And I'm like, why? Is it gonna give me something? I'm not taking any of that stuff. That long it flew by, yes. You've been around Boomer so long you sound like him. Yeah. Happy Tickle My Thirsty Thursday. Yeah. So, well, we did the video. The video wasn't as long as last week. Last week, I think we had one of our longest videos, but that was a lot of how to, um, consecrate your amulets and what's the difference between amulets, charms, and whatever, and talismans. So it was longer. This week was a little shorter. I could probably set it up. But yeah. So when my 20-year-old friends were having kids, I felt like I was 40 something, but at the same time, I was happy for them. Right. No, I think like I always wanted children, and then I had one, and then I had two, and then I was like, what was I thinking? I don't know if this was for me. Oh, good, James. I'm glad. I'm so glad, James. Yeah, like we'll be there next Wednesday too if you need any extra help, James. We'll be there Wednesdays. That's what we do. And then Thursdays we do this, just talking about just being basically here for each other through our spiritual journey because our families most of the time are not there for us. So just to be with alike people and to who understand and don't judge is really nice. Um, it just really is. I tell people all the time that my daughter's like, oh, why do you stay on YouTube? You don't make any money. You should go to this one, that one. I'm like, no, because over there on YouTube is my family, and the other places I don't know. I said, they're my family. They believe the same things I do. They don't criticize me. They try to help me. And I try to do the same. So I said, so I don't want to go anywhere else. And then she's like, well, bring them over there. And I'm like, it's not the same. It's just not the same. But, you know. Oh, yeah, Boomer's on a break. Yeah. Easier to get along with. Yeah, it's easier to get along with. But like I said in the video, you really need support. Imagine what my family did to me, right? You have a brain tumor, you probably have tinnitus, you're going crazy, there's something wrong with you, right? If I had to listen to that all day and I didn't have any of this, you guys to talk to, what would that, like, I would stop doing the spirituality, right? Because I'd be like, oh, maybe they're right, because I don't have any support system. So this is super important. You were there for your son in a way that your family should have acted like towards you, right? Why did he come? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I know they said that he has something to teach you. This is a spiritual something. So he's going to help you. And I think, didn't we say that you're going to have a change in spiritual powers? So that's why he's there, to help you with that. I heard that right off the bat. I really didn't need the pendulum, but just to make sure of myself. Oh, no, there is nothing wrong with me. Like I said, I think even if I had a brain tumor, I think if they even if they fixed it, I'd still feel the same way about the spirits and everything else. So I don't know whether a brain tumor has anything to do with my spirituality, you know. um, Talking to your spirit guides is something normal. Um, Maybe it's not for them, but for lots of people, it's normal. That's what I meant. Yeah. I listen to that every day since I'm a MD. When I was as most stressed during the pandemic, I found Christina's channel and that really helped my stress. Oh, I'm glad. I used to do funny stuff during the pandemic. You know, um, you conjured him, Chris? No, I didn't conjure him. um, when I did your reading the first time before August, they let me know someone was coming, right? And then yesterday they told you, I just put two and two together. Yesterday they told you were going to have a change in spiritual powers. So that's why I said, oh, two and two, put two and two together. That's pretty much why he's there, to help you with that. So, and you seem to be excited about the change in spiritual powers. So I'm sure that, that'd be good to work with him. My great-grandfather saw a vision of my great-grandmother after she passed away, so I'm okay with being around people in touch with spirits and spiritual life. My grandpa had near-death experience as well. See that? Yeah, Deborah. Thank you, Thor. During the pandemic, when Thor first started watching me, I used to do crazy stuff. I did a lot of paranormal investigations because I was trying to come into it and really start to learn about it. But now that I know so much about it, I don't go out as much because basically I could just talk to them in my house. um, but or at the supermarket, I could tell, come, I want to ask you questions. Or lots of different people, I'll read about them and be like, oh, I really wish I could meet this person. Like I did this Sinister Sunday about this like spirit that would walk up and down the stairs and all these thoughts about what she was doing, and I was like, I really want to meet her because I want to ask her what she does. And she came to my house. She didn't speak English well, and she had someone with her that I guess would speak for her because she was something high, like a high princess or something. you know so I don't have to go anywhere. If I want to channel them or ask them something, um if they want to, they'll come talk to me. If they don't want to, they're not, whatever. um, but I haven't had any that haven't come talk to me, if I really wanted to talk to them. So yeah, but I used to do some weird karaoke. I used to do crazy shout out stories. I did all sorts of stuff during the pandemic. Stuff I wouldn't do now, But I was home 3 months. I wasn't working, and I said, "Well, why not?" And I was like always live, always, always, always. I don't know how I talked for 8 hours a day on a live stream, but that's what I would do. I remember one time, I don't know, we started at 8 o'clock. I was supposed to do a little one. 4 in the morning, I was taking to them to this haunted house on a live stream across the way from me. To look in the windows. Yeah, and I'm like, holy crap, crazy. That's what we were doing. Uh, my doctor needs to be more spiritually in tune. Yes. A paranormal cardiologist. Ah, thank you, Thor. What is that? That sounds so interesting. I really want John Wayne. I mean to talk to him. Um, well, you know, ask him. Well, by this time, maybe he's reincarnated. We don't know. But if he's not, sit there and, meditate on it. You never know that he won't come talk to you in a meditation. I'm not really good with meditating. I just sit there and like, I really want to talk to them. Can we talk to them? Can we? I probably bother my spirit guide so much that like, let's go there and see if this person come talk to her because she's annoying me. That's probably what happened. So yeah, there's a beautiful moon coming up. I don't know if you could see it. It doesn't look nice, but it's up over there, and it's so yellow right now. You can't tell on the camera, but it's so yellow and so gorgeous. Um, a paranormal cardiologist, not a paranormal. Come on, isn't it the same thing? She means it's a para normal, comma, kind of thing. Uh, when your heart beats irregular, I'm assuming. If he's recycled, I gotta catch up to him. There you go. You can meditate on that too. Well, if he's oh, heart doctor. Yes, a heart doctor. Monday, it's a full moon. Yeah, it's not full, but it's so yellow right now, guys. I mean, here in New York, it's so yellow. It's so gorgeous. When it's a big white moon, it's nice too. But when it's this yellowy color, I just love it. Correct. That's right. Yeah. And you could tell Thor's like a doctor because he's handsome, right? Most doctors, when you think of cardiologists and heart doctors, and they take care of themselves and they got the six packs abs because they know they should exercise. Yeah, so Oh, I have a garden channel Thor, and it's doing good, except for the fact that now everything's wilty because for 10 days straight we had rain, and they kind of did not like 10 days straight of rain, but I didn't know what to do. Some of them I even put more holes in the bottom thinking it would help it drain. But no, the 10 days of water did not like it. But I do have a gardening channel, and that I just put garden shorts on. Here's an update of the garden. So gotta look the part. Amen, Scott. Let's see if I can throw that in the chat, my garden chat. Share. Okay. Well, we're not watching any videos now. Relax. We're going back to the live stream. Um, okay. Ta-da! Here we go. Yeah. I just do a little like if I walk around the neighborhood, I put some gardening, like other people's gardens, like in the neighborhood. Some of them had great gardens. So just do little gardening shorts there, little gardening crafts, like little fairy gardens I made. So that's all like the garden stuff. Yeah, so oh, thanks, Thor. So yeah, that's that channel because I was like, Danny convinced me that I should have like cooking crafting channel and then a gardening channel and see which one does better. Quite frankly, they're neck and neck. I started them a month ago, guys, maybe 2 months ago, and they're neck and neck. They have about maybe each almost 50 subscribers from the shorts, because mostly on those channels I do shorts, of cooking, crafting, you know, um, gardening. So yeah, people just like shorts. So yes, I think she's asking Thor if you're in the UK. Thor used to go see. I wonder, haven't seen her. You used to go to Blackwing too, didn't you, Thor? I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her. I looked even the other day, and I'm like, well, I wonder how she's doing. She used to come to my channel all the time. Um, and I used to go to hers, but I haven't seen her. Ooh, Scandinavia, but you live in the US. Actually, in Denmark right now. How is Denmark? It's always good to know how we ask everybody where they live, how it is. I'm gonna have to find a place to go soon, so I don't know. If Mary doesn't take me, in Indiana, then maybe I'm gonna go to Denmark. Or I'm gonna go to where Diane is in Idaho and see the flying potato for New Year's. Hmm. Oh, very, very clean, really. Nice. Is it like can you get to places without a car, or is it like very rural? I don't know anybody from Denmark. You're the first one. Ooh, so exciting. Now we could see, we know someone from Denmark. Down on our list. Both. A very small country, 6 million. Oh. Oh, so if you go to the city part, ooh, I'm gonna have to go visit Denmark. See if I like it. Because I have to be able, I don't drive, so I have to be able to walk to a store, like walk to the supermarket, maybe walk to a park. So if I live in the city part, it's good. Like even in Indiana, there's some city parts and there's some super rural where you can't even walk on the street because they'll hit you with a car because there is no sidewalk. It's just like cows. Don't hit the cows, don't hit the dogs, don't don't walk on the street. So, but I can't live in that kind of area. I have to live where there's like places I can walk to. Because at this age, I really don't want to learn to drive. I just want to walk to where I gotta go. Or maybe get a little scooter. Or a bicycle like the three-wheel bicycle. Oh, yes, of course. Copenhagen is wonderful. A very international city. Oh, nice. See that? Hmm. You need a Vespa. Yes, like that. A Vespa. I do have a bike with three wheels, though, and I don't mind riding it, but the streets have to be wider for that. Like these sidewalks, I just fit so nobody else can go if I ride my bike on the sidewalk. And if I ride in the street, I'm too wide and I'm afraid somebody's going to ram me. So I need a nice place to ride my little witchy. I call it the witch bike because it reminds me of every time I go to ride it, I in my head plays the song from The Wizard of Oz. Like when she was riding trying to steal Toto, the that's all that keeps going in my head. I'm the woman that tried to steal Toto on the little bike with the basket. Um Yep. We'll have to look it up. Copenhagen. Ooh. Sits on the coastal island of Zealand. Ooh, that sounds so pretty. Eh. From Copenhagen to New York, from New York to Copenhagen, 9 hours. That's a long flight. Oh, Danny has mostly been working on his strongman channel, and he's been doing like mostly like his stuff to try to get into the strongman contest. So, and then this week, really, well, half the summer he's been over his mom's. His mom was sick in the hospital twice, and his family um goes camping a lot, so he's the only one to watch her because she's in her 80s, but she's really can't get up and walk around, so he has to go and help her. So that's where he is most of the time, and she doesn't let him be on the computer. She says, "Nah, why are you always on the computer?" So until they come back from their holidays, and probably won't be doing a lot of lives, but he is uploading his exercises on the Strongman channel. Yes. Oh, I'm sure. Because I was even asking him, like, you know, can't they send some nurses though, so you don't have to be there all the time? Because he needs some time to himself too. Can't constantly be like, because she'll drive you nuts. Get me a cup of tea. I gotta go to the bathroom. This is all, 4 in the morning. She wants to wake up. She doesn't want to sleep past 4 in the morning. So, and she goes to sleep at midnight. So it's not a lot of sleep for him either. So I said, don't they have like a nurse that can go like for during the daytime? Does the insurance cover that? He's like, no. Otherwise, we'd get a nurse to go sit with her for a few hours so he could take off. But basically, he's there from 4 o'clock every day. Starts 4 o'clock in the like afternoon, all the way to the next morning 10 o'clock, and then he'll go home, do a few things, and have to go right back. So, and he tries to sleep when he's home a little, at least take a nap because she don't let him sleep. you know. I'm just gonna turn the camera for 1 second, guys, because I'm just gonna have a smoke. But I'm here with you. Yeah, respite care. Yeah, like, cause I know Canada's different than New York though, but here, like, the Medicaid would cover 4-hour nursing. They would come, they would feed her, they would sit with her. Because my friend's grandmother had, 4 hours. Somebody, because they were afraid she was going to set the house on fire, to eat something when they left. So for 4 hours, someone would sit with her while, the daughter was working. But, I guess in Canada, they don't have that. They have in Canada, like, you can pick someone and you could pay them, and the insurance will pay part of it. So I think the insurance pays a certain amount, and you would pay a certain amount to the person, and they come and they, work like 8 hours a day, and help you. So she has her daughter-in-law doing that, but the daughter-in-law is the one who's been on vacation. So they've been on vacation. They went for 2 weeks. They came back for 4 days. Now they've been away for a week. They're coming back for 4 days, and then they're going away again for 2 weeks. So he's like, there's nobody else, taking pain meds. All right, Scott. It's that bad tonight, huh, Scott? So yeah, it's been a lot for him this summer, and he's trying to get to the strongman. I think it's in December. So hopefully everything will work out. But yeah, up and down, yeah. Palliative care, yeah. Yeah, and I don't understand. I don't know what kind of insurance she has, but I just couldn't understand that they don't cover. Like, they'll send somebody, I guess, like if she needs to have her blood taken or something like that, instead of taking her to the hospital, like moving her because she's in a wheelchair, right? So they'll have that, like, so the nurse will come once a week or something, just check, and I don't know. But other than that, they don't have like somebody to come and sit with them. You'd have to pay for that, and you can't afford it, She's she's 86. She don't work. Who's gonna pay for that? She's on a fixed income, you know. Just getting a second opinion. Yeah, well, you need that second opinion because that doctor had the worst bedside manner ever. I was so appalled when you told me what that doctor did, Scott, last week. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, no, she wants to stay in her house. She doesn't want to go anywhere. See, my grandmother was smart. Like, she was at the nursing home, and I guess she figured she'd go home. But like 6 months ago, he's on crack, yeah. About 6 months ago, she even said to me when my aunt walked out of the room, my aunt and I were visiting her together. My aunt walked out of the room to put something in her room, and she said to me, I can't go home, can I? I said, do you want to go home? Because, you know, I don't know, maybe we could make some kind of arrangement. I don't know what it would be, but so I asked her, do you want to go home? And she goes, no, you know what? Because nobody can lift me. Who's going to wash me all the time? Dorothy can't do it. So she knew that there's nobody really would be able to lift her like me with my bad back. My aunt is small. And even though my grandmother is very small, she weighs 95 pounds. She's not big. It's hard to move somebody. She's like dead weight because she can't put any weight on her leg because of her hips, right? So it's like dead weight trying to lift somebody who can't move, move their legs. So my aunt wouldn't be able to do it. Even my aunt and I together, if it was an emergency and we had to do it once, maybe. But every day to clean her and everything, no, it's crazy. Before they finally realize that you can have caregivers. Well, yeah, well, that's what her daughter-in-law does, Mary. The daughter-in-law is the caregiver. helps her to the bathroom. At least Danny's mother can, if you help her up, get onto her feet and walk with like her walker. She can roll around in her wheelchair in the house. She's on the first floor. See, my grandmother's apartment's on the second floor. So because it's on the second floor, she would never be able to go out, you know? She'd just be stuck in the house for the rest of her life. And her apartment's so small, I don't even think we could fit the wheelchair. So what is she gonna just sit in bed? At least there in the nursing home, she gets in the wheelchair. They get her in the wheelchair. They wash her up in the morning, take her to the bathroom, feed her, right? Well, she feeds herself, but they give her the food. And she eats. She gets in her wheelchair. She wheels into the dining room. She reads the paper. She talks to people. She goes in the big room. She watches the news. She does puzzles. She talks to people there. They take her to do bingo 2 times a week. They have parties. They give her ice cream. So she can't do none of that at home. I mean, we could give her ice cream, maybe. That's about it. But they feed her 3 times a day. If she wanted something extra, they give it to her. It's not a big deal. If she said, look, I'm really hungry today, they'd give her more food. It's not a big deal to them. They get paid a lot of money. I think it's like, what, $2,000 a month to take care of my grandmother. Yeah. And my grandmother's not that bad off. Like I said, you just have to give her the food. You have to wash her, and they have times where they check to say, okay, let's go to the bathroom, make sure you're all good, and clean still and whatever. She'll try to, if she has to go to the bathroom though, she'll wheel over and tell them, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and they'll help her if there's someone to help her. If not, she'll go herself because they have the bars and everything in the bathrooms. But she's not. My grandmother's not high maintenance as long as you feed her because she loves food. Right. So I think the doctor was rushing him and then told him like, "Oh, you're fine" or something, and poo-pooing him like he's not in pain, and he obviously is in pain. Um, and I don't know why they would do that because I'm sure workers' comp is paying that doctor good. That's for damn sure. So I couldn't understand that, really. Craziness to me. Mm-hmm. But guys, it's been over 2 hours. I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna go eat dinner, and then I have a crossover. I have to go work on my, I have to work on my spirituality, or as my sister says, I have to, feed the brain tumor. I don't know. Either way, have to do that tonight, and of course, I have to eat because, yeah, they are making their money. Yeah, of course they are. Workers' comp is paying them. Right. Exactly, Thor. Like when he told me what that doctor, I was like, what the freak? Like I never. If I would go to the doctor, I'd be like, I'm never paying you again. I had a doctor, well, it was my mom's doctor. We went to him because my mom had chest. Phew. Yeah, craziness. Like, I don't know. And they're getting paid, even if you have insurance. And I know the insurance doesn't pay them exactly what they want, but they get it. And none of these doctors are hard up for any money, let me tell you. Especially the specialists that work on like your knees and all this, and workers' comp doctors. They get paid good. None of them are hard up for money. There's no reason for any of that. Any of that. Kim, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Lovely seeing you as always, and lovely seeing everybody. Thor, thank you so much for coming in again. James, thank you so much for hanging out with us for the second time. I'm so lovely. We met some new people yesterday, and they liked hanging out with us. We did have another gentleman. He didn't talk a lot. Black came in earlier. Thanks for coming in. Oh, yeah, Thor, I'm live Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:15 sometimes, between 6 and 6:30. Wednesdays, I do like tarot card readings and all that stuff. Thursday, we're live around 6, between 6 and 6:30, and we do Spiritual Thursdays, where we just talk about spiritual stuff and hang out and enjoy each other's company, and talk about our spiritual topic. So I'm live 2 times a week. So we'd love to have you anytime. Please come. So yes, and make sure you get Mary's channel. I put notifications on Christina. Great, thank you so much, Thor. Yeah, um, I don't. Those are my 2 times live. So I don't normally go other times because I don't want to go over our other sisters and everything. So those are my set times. I always go, even though other people go at this time. I've been doing this for like 7 months for Thursdays and over a year on the Wednesdays, so I don't change it. That's when I go live. So we will see you next Wednesday for Divination Wednesday, and Thursday, hopefully I'll have something good for you. I don't know what it's going to be yet because I haven't done it yet. So yeah. Oh, Thor, you're not blue, Thor? Holy crow. Wait, I'll get her link here, share, copy link. And then we gotta make Thor blue. I can't see, the, oh, you got it, Mary? Okay, wait. And add as moderator. There you go. Okay. Thor's been with us a long time. I don't know why he wasn't blue. All righty, we're all set now. I'm gonna put the outro. I'll put a funny one since we have some guys today, so I'll put the funny outro for the guys today. We'll put the funny. Do I have the funny outro on here? I don't know. No, this is Thursday. Let's see. I could probably switch. Let's put a funny outro. We'll switch to Saturday for a second.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.